Guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris. We're going to have to talk about the four biggest things that we have learned after week 11. Week 12 is coming up. Thanksgiving, guys. We have 3 games on Thursday. A lot of things have been going on, but week 11 came with a lot of different stories. There's been a lot of criticism for the Vikings, a lot of great stuff, playoff contentions. Come on, guys, the playoffs. Don't forget about the playoffs. I'm doing a playoff series. I'll put the description down below so you guys can follow it to see who is in the playoff contention, who is not, who is basically out, and who's basically going to get the first pick of the NFL draft. The 4 biggest things we learned in week 11. We're going to talk about all that stuff right now. Now, the first one, guys, is a 2-in-1 special, okay? One of the biggest things I do want to talk about is the Cowboys defense is super elite. And the Minnesota Vikings, are they pretenders? Let's see. They just had a game and the Cowboys destroyed them 40-3. And not just destroyed them, guys. This was a huge onslaught, okay? This onslaught came with a lot of different things. I want to show you guys the comparisons between Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins, okay? Dak Prescott passed for 276 yards and 2 touchdowns. Even Cooper Rush came in and passed for 31 yards, right? Now, for the Vikings, Kirk Cousins passed for 105 yards. That's not going to cut it, okay? Dalvin Cook rushed for 72 yards. Again, that's not going to cut it. This defense for the Cowboys stopped the Minnesota Vikings in its stance, okay? If we go look at the stats, I want to show you guys the total amount of yards that actually happened, within this game. 458 for the Cowboys, 183 for the Vikings, 307 passing yards for the Cowboys, 110 for the Vikings. I mean, this game was not even close, okay? One big thing I do want to mention, guys, look at these first downs. 23 first downs compared to the Vikings 16. The third down efficiency, 1 out of 11. The Vikings clearly could not get first downs, clearly could not move the ball at all, okay? They couldn't move the ball at all. Fourth down efficiency, 0 for 0 because they didn't go for any fourth downs. But also, guys, look at this, okay? I want you guys to see this very, very clearly. Look how many sacks the Dallas Cowboys got. 7 sacks. That is unheard of, okay? Nobody's done that in a long time for anybody, okay? And one of the persons that actually pulled it away, guys, come on, Michael Parsons. Who else? Michael Parsons did his thing. Jaron Greers got 1 sack. Michael Parsons got 2 sacks. Armstrong Jr. got 2 sacks. And come on, if you want, we can even give some of the veterans. Dante Fowler got 1 sack, and DeMarcus Lawrence got 1 sack as well. The Cowboys defense, guys, was phenomenal and was clearly outplaying the Vikings this whole time. Now, regards to the Vikings, they're 8-2 right now. They're supposed to be this huge team that was going to be making noise. Right now, they're number 2 in the NFC, but are they these pretenders? Now, last week after they beat the Bills, a lot of questions basically vanished, all right? These questions were not existent because they beat the Bills the way they did. Now that they basically got blown out by the Cowboys, these questions are back. The questions are they pretenders or are they contenders? That is the biggest question. Let me know what you guys think down below. Number 2 on the list, guys, the New York Jets, they are contenders right now, but the one big problem that they are having right now is Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is clearly, in my opinion, not a leader. And clearly, guys, he's been getting a lot of criticism saying that he doesn't know the playbook for the Jets. Look at this. They just got beaten by the New England Patriots 10-3. Okay, now honestly, guys, it was a very defensive battle throughout the whole entire game. The Jets basically lost the game in the very last play with 5 seconds left when the Patriots returned a kickoff, for a touchdown and lost the game, okay? But I want to show you guys these stats because these stats are unheard of. Mac Jones passed for 246 yards, okay? Obviously, last time around, Mac Jones only passed the ball 3 times, okay? Now, if we go back and look at Zach Wilson's numbers, look at these numbers, man. 9 for 22 and 77 yards, okay? What are we doing here? Seriously, what are we doing here? He only had 9 completions. They punted the ball 10 times. They punted the ball 10 times. Come on, you are not going to win games like that, okay? You're clearly not going to win games like this at all. Now, if we compare it side by side, if you want to compare apples to apples, or you just want to kind of see what's going on in the stats, look at the total yards. 297 for the Patriots, 103 for the Jets, 198 passing versus 44 yards versus Zach Wilson. What are we doing here, Zach? 99 rushing yards for the Patriots, 59 for the Jets. What are we doing here? Clearly, guys, the Jets offense is clearly lacking something. Their defense is great. I'll give them that. Their defense is phenomenal. They are locking down people. Sauce Gardner is a stud. I've said it in all of my videos. Sauce Gardner is a killer. What's going on there? What's going on there? They need help. They need more help. And they need receivers. They need more offensive weapons. Zach Wilson needs help, or something's going to have to change. Zach Wilson, is he the quarterback of the future for the Jets? Week 2, they were chanting, Zach's back, Zach's back. But now, Zach really back to his old ways. Number 3 on the list, guys, we have to talk about the Las Vegas Raiders, okay? They have been winning. They've won 2 games in a row. And honestly, I think they finally found the recipe that works for them. That recipe is, after beating the Denver Broncos 22-16, that recipe is give the ball to Davante Adams and hand it off to Josh Jacobs. That is it. That is the recipe for them to win. And that is basically the only thing that they need to do from here on out to win games. Derek Carr completed 23 out of 37 passes, 307 yards, and 2 touchdowns, okay? Josh Jacobs rushed 24 times for 109 yards, averaging 4.5 yards a carry, which honestly, guys, is pretty darn solid. But the receiving guys, look at these, man. Look at these stats. Davante Adams, 7 receptions, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 20 yards a catch. Compared to everybody else, Mac Hollins, Josh Jacobs, what's going on here? Davante Adams is clearly the reason the Raiders are moving the ball. Josh Jacobs is another reason why they're moving the ball. Nobody else is rushing. Nobody else is really catching the ball or making an impact in the game. Davante Adams, Josh Jacobs, that's the only connection Derek Carr needs to have. You have to sprinkle in a little receivers here and there to make sure Davante Adams and Josh Jacobs is not double covered. But that's the recipe for them to win. If they could continue putting in that recipe, they have a huge chance to sneak in maybe 6 or 7 spot into the playoffs. But again, let me know what you guys think down below. And the 4th thing we've learned in week 11, guys, this one's a little juicy one. You guys may or may not agree with me. If you guys agree, hit that like button and subscribe down to the channel. But this one is very juicy. Let me say that. The Detroit Lions, they're going to make a run for the playoffs. Okay? Let me repeat that again because I don't think you heard me correctly. The Detroit Lions, they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to sneak in at number 7. Let me tell you why. Right now, they are trending. They just beat a good New York Giants team 31-18. Guys, they did not just beat them. They basically doubled what the Giants scored, dropping the Giants record to 7-3 and the Lions improved to 4-6. Guys, the Detroit Lions, they've won 3 in a row. Something's going on in Detroit. Finally, they're trying to figure out something. You know what they figured out? Their special teams, the defense has to make a move. Look at these stats from Jared Goff. But the stats from Jared Goff is going to be very deceiving. 165 yards out of 17-26 passing. Justin Jackson was rushing 9 out of 66 yards. But Jamal Williams was the huge difference maker. 17 carries, 64 yards. 3 touchdowns, okay? The 3 touchdowns were clearly the big difference maker. And obviously, a lot of turnovers for the Giants, okay? If you compare apples to apples, look at these stats. The Detroit Lions were not supposed to win this game. 413 total yards for the Giants compared to 325 for the Lions. 324 passing compared to the Lions 165. 89 rushing compared to the Detroit Lions 160. I mean, come on, guys. That wasn't really supposed to happen. The time of possession was 31 minutes, 48 seconds for the Lions, 28 minutes, 12 seconds for the Giants. But the one thing, guys, was turnovers. The Detroit Lions converted 3 turnovers and scored each time. Obviously, you're not going to win games if you're turning over the ball, but the Lions did a great job basically getting the ball and scoring every single time. Now, I'm not sure if there's going to be a recipe for disaster in the future, but the Detroit Lions, they're finding some sort of recipe. Right now, that's working. So why break it if it's working, right? Those are the 4 things we've learned after week 11. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys agree with me or disagree with me, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe down to the channel, and thank you all for watching. We will be making our week 12 predictions very, very soon. I'll put the link down in the description as well. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. See you guys next time, and peace.